The recession is coming and there's nothing you can do about it. So why wouldn't you want to be ready for the next recession? Instead of worrying, you should be excited because this is the only time in history a person with a small amount of money can turn it into a large amount of money. Only if that person has the right game plan and the right mindset during the next recession. So in this video, I'm going to give you the best investing strategy you can implement in the next recession, and I'm going to tell you how it can make you loads of money.
Is it Brian? Yes.
Hi, I'm Giannino. I teach you how to make money, grow money, and invest money. So please like this video and subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And me personally, I've been trading the stock market for the last 5 years, waiting for the next recession because it's the single best time in history to get the stocks you look at every day at the cheapest prices you're ever gonna see. And if you can buy these stocks at these cheap prices, all you have to do is hold for as long as possible. Let me give you an example of how cheap you could have bought Amazon during the last recession in 2008. Believe it or not, that stock was trading at $100, and I'm 99.9% sure you're never ever gonna see Amazon trading at $100 again. So my point is, during a recession, stocks trade at cheap levels that you may never see, and Amazon was at $100. So if you put in $10,000 in that stock in 2008, you would have $180,000. Huge returns from that stock. So for you to capitalize on these cheap prices you will see in a recession, you have to have a game plan. So that's all I'm going to do in this video, is give you the best investing strategy or a game plan you can implement in the next recession. And this strategy I'm going to be telling you about is called passive index investing. And this is the best investing strategy out there because it completely runs by itself and it's on autopilot. So once you set it up initially, all you have to do is sit back and have it work for you. So it's great in a recession because when recessions hit, everyone's wondering, what should I buy? How much money should I put into the market? And some people are actually doing the opposite and saying, I'm not going to put any money into the market because I'm actually scared for the economy. So passive index investing will solve all of these questions and all of these doubts when the market really turns over and prices start getting cheaper. So if you don't know what passive index investing is, all you're doing is buying the index a set amount every month for pretty much the rest of time. So it's passive because you deposit your money and it buys it automatically. But I'm going to tell you the 4 steps on how it works, how to set it up, and later in the video I'm going to tell you how to maximize it to make even more money in the recession. So this strategy, if you implement it for 46 years and you put $310 into the index every month, you will have $1 million by the time you retire. So that just shows you the potential and the power of passive index investing. And the cool thing here is, during a recession, you're going to make even more money when you're passive index investing. So step number 1 to set this up is you want to figure out which index you want to be investing your money into. And you can get fancy and pick a certain sector. Maybe you want to pick indexes that are tech related because maybe you work for Apple. Maybe you want to pick indexes that are consumer staple based because you know that everyone's going to be buying ketchup for the next 40 years. Or maybe you want to buy in sectors that are utility based because everyone needs electricity. So you can pick sectors, or you can pick the general market, which I recommend is the SPY. This is an index that follows the overall market, the overall economy, and it's kind of the basis for the returns that we can expect. It should be noted, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice, but this is the most general index I can tell you about. So once you have your index picked out, step number 2 is you want to figure out how much you want to deposit every month into that index. This should be something you're willing to not have for the next 30 or 40 years and the money you're hoping to use in your retirement. So don't be putting money in that you need tomorrow or the next year. This should be money that you're willing to sacrifice for a long time. And the key here is, once you know the amount of money you want to put in, you want to head to step number 3, which is setting this up on autopilot so it automatically invests your money in the market. The easiest way to do that is use an app called Twine, and this will actually do everything automatically. You don't even have to pick a certain index. It just has 3 or 4 different investment strategies. And the reason I recommend Twine is because when people get started in the stock market, picking stocks and picking index funds can be scary and they can definitely involve risk. But Twine has 3 investment options minus cash. We have conservative, moderate, and aggressive. And obviously, the higher you go up with risk, the more returns you could possibly have in the market and the more losses you can possibly have. But if you don't want to use Twine and you don't feel comfortable doing it, I suggest you head to your broker and you set up automatic deposits on there. You can also do this on Robinhood. You just take that out from your bank account every week, every month, and you can set that up to be automatic every time period. And the last step is once we have our index picked out, once we have the amount we want to put into the index, and lastly, once we have that system working automatically, all you want to do is keep this going, keep this in autopilot for as long as you can, maybe 30 or 40 years like I said, because that's where you're going to find the true potential of passive index investing and how you can make millions from it. But this is a strategy you can use in any market. So although this is a strategy you can use for 30 or 40 years, using this strategy in a recession is really going to help you make tons of money. So the last thing I'm going to tell you about in this video is how you can maximize this strategy to make even more money. So the key to passive index investing is when you're buying it every month. If you're buying every month it's going up, the price you're buying at is higher and higher and higher. So any sell-off is going to greatly ruin your account because you've been buying at the highest prices recently. So the best time to buy any investment or any stock is when it's at its cheapest price, and this is during a recession. So if you're passively buying the market as it's dropping, you're going to be better off in the long run. Let me give you a quick example of how this can help. If you bought the index during the 2008 recession when the first dip happened and you bought that and held it till today, you would have 156% return. But let's say you bought the bottom of the recession in 2008. If you bought that exact level, you'd have 323% return if you held it today. So that just shows you the power of buying the stock market at cheap prices. And at the way bottom, 300% return is 2 times the return you would have had buying it at the first dip in 2008. So the key here is not trying to time the bottom, because no investor, no trader can really time the bottom of the stock market. It's almost impossible. The tip to maximize the most returns with passive index investing in a recession is increasing the amount you're investing as the stock market drops, because when the stock market was at the true bottom with that 300% return, you're not going to be saying, I wish I would have bought then. You're going to be saying, I wish I bought more then, because 300% return is better than any other level you could have bought in the last 11 years for the SPY. So that is the secret for passive index investing in the recession, is because when the stocks get cheaper, the more you're going to put in, the larger returns you're going to have in the long run. So the more money you can sacrifice when the market is dropping, the better off you're going to be when you retire. Because like I said, when Amazon was $100 in 2008, you're not going to be saying, I'm glad I bought that. You're going to be saying, I wish I bought more, because $10,000, like I said, turned out to be $180,000. But if you put in $100,000, now you're looking at $1.8 million in just 11 years. So real quick, let me recap passive index investing and how to maximize it for recession. So step 1, you want to pick which index you want to invest in. Step 2, you want to know how much you can afford to invest, and when the recession hits, you want to really bear down and try to maximize the amount you can put into the stock market. And step number 3 is you really want to have this in the autopilot. You want to have those deposits coming out of your account automatically every month so you don't think about it. And then the last step, step number 4, is hold whatever you bought as long as possible, because if you decide to sell, you're going to be hit with taxes and you're going to miss out on future gains. So it's best just to hold until you really need that money. And the last thing I want to give you is a video I think you're going to love, which is the best recession investments you can make. Check out that video. I know you'll love it. Hey, it's Matt coming at you. In this video, I want to give you the best investments you can make when a recession happens. And it's pretty obvious that we're going to see a recession in the next couple years. All I want to do is prepare you for that.